time to realize that it is not Democrat versus Republican. It is Americans versus those who seek to squeeze the very life out of America and drink it for themselves. See, I used to think that this was accidental, that there were just so many horrible problems that of course Democrats and Republicans can't fix them because they're fighting amongst themselves, when in reality it's only us. It's only the citizens who are fighting amongst themselves because they are all shaking hands behind the scene. The reality is the government has to create problems to solve, because if you didn't think there were any problems to solve, you wouldn't vote them back into office to fix them. Because as long as they can continue to blame the other side, they can continue to convince you to just get them back in power. Your struggle is their guarantee. The more you're suffering, the more likely you are to choose them to be a solution. Because again, ask yourself, what has either side done that has actually benefited you in your life, instead of just making you just a little bit happy your side has won? My generation is living in a broken country. The wealth that our parents and grandparents had has been stolen from us, and we are sick and freaking tired of it. What is scary about all of this is that as soon as someone starts to criticize the government, as soon as anyone starts to ask simple questions, they are immediately labeled as the worst of the worst. And what this is eventually going to lead to is violence. Not calling for it, in fact, the opposite. However, when you make peaceful discourse impossible, you make violence inevitable. And I'll tell you the exact moment that it hit me that they truly all are on the same side. And even if they will publicly fight each other in the streets for us, as soon as we can't see them, they're shaking hands. And that's Trump's current presidency. And I know I just pissed a lot of y'all off, but I'm not happy with Trump, because here's the thing. I was promised a dictator, okay? I was promised someone was going to come in here, arrest a whole bunch of people, and I was told things were going to change. And we're a year into his presidency and not a damn thing has happened. Nothing. We've gotten a few deportations and, well, he has lowered the pharmaceutical prices. At least he has said so. We're still going to have to wait and see if that happens. And a few people are calling Trump a Nazi. And, well, in reality, he hasn't done a thing. So why have so many people not been arrested? How many have been arrested? How many of the Democrats that we know supposedly try to get him arrested are in jail for treason? None. Oh, but they've announced investigations. I don't give a damn until these people are in jail, because they always announce investigations and nothing is ever done. They will feed us crumbs so we don't starve. Meanwhile, they are eating feast right next to us and calling us ungrateful. Guys, enough is enough. Now, I will admit, whenever I turned 16 and Trump was president, well, my little ignorant butt, I thought he was truly outside of the system. That they all obviously hated them so much. I was thinking, wow, he's so outside. But I truly believe now that it was all a game just to convince us that he wasn't shaking hands and laughing at us with his Democratic colleagues. Because nothing has happened. He's done nothing. Cost of living hasn't come down. College isn't down. Groceries haven't come down. Meanwhile, if you mention any of this, you're called ungrateful. And you want to know what the cherry on top is? The Epstein files. Remember those? Remember how 4 years ago we were told how Democrats were holding it hostage because they're all pedophiles. And once Trump gets in, it's going to be a priority. And not a single damn thing has happened. Not a single arrest. Not a single arrest. And don't you freaking tell me, well, we're not saying anything because we need to protect the innocent people. What the hell are you talking about? If you have a video or pictures of someone screwing a kid, do you not understand how to crop a picture or video? Do you not understand that you can look at who is doing it, arrest them, without saying, oh, by the way, the kid that they were doing this to is this specific person? That logic is just another form of emotional manipulation, and we eat it like freaking cake every single time. And I know I say nothing has happened over and over again, and then some of y'all will be thinking, well, what about Elon Musk and his Doge? Great! They cut 1% of 1% of the freaking budget. Do you want to know what they didn't touch? The military. You're going to tell me that the $1 trillion budget for the military, every single penny of it is accounted for. Do y'all know that the Pentagon has failed every single audit? Do y'all know that there are trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars over just the past decade that our military will publicly say, we have no idea what happened to us. Guys, they put shiny pebbles in front of you and they call it a freaking diamond. Okay, I take it back. Something actually did happen, but it wasn't even during Trump's presidency. It was before it. He launched a freaking crypto meme coin. Now, that's not necessarily just the worst thing in the world, but it is whenever nothing else has happened. His only concern has been doubling his net worth, making a freaking meme coin instead of lowering the freaking grocery prices. But hey, gas is cheaper, right? So that means we can't complain about anything. And hey, the Democrats are out of office, so that means everything's good now, right? My God, we just spent 4 freaking years saying if we can get Republicans back in office, everything will be fixed. And here we are, a year later, not a damn thing. And before the MAGA cultists get mad at me for criticizing their God, I don't think Trump is unique in his corruption. If Kamala had won, it would have just been a different flavor of corruption. They want you silent, they want you tired, and they want you to believe this is normal. But it is not. Every empire dies when its people forget who they are. However, I think America is finally just starting to remember. This is not about left or right anymore. It is about us. And if that actually still matters to you, then this is where the real fight begins.